Welcome back to the D&D Talk Wrestling Weekly Rewind. Technically, the D Talk Wrestling Weekly Rewind. As you can see, unfortunately it's only me today. There is a sickness going around everywhere. Obviously, if you've been watching the news, there's a big flu going around. It got at my boy Dave's house. He's got it. The kids got it. His girls got it. I don't have it. This isn't really wood, but knock on wood, I don't have it. So I'm not trying to get it. So we decided that I'm just going to do the rewind, which means unfortunately no podcast again. But stay tuned for next week's, because next week's the 1 year anniversary, which we never thought we would get to. But we have ideas. We want to watch. Well, I want to watch the first episode again. He really doesn't want to. That's probably why he got sick. We're going to watch the first episode again. We're going to talk about what we want to do for the channel, what we want to strive. Maybe we'll give more hints to the other things that are coming. But as always, stay tuned. We're going inside the ropes, outside the ropes with some news. There's not really a main topic. I couldn't find a lot of news because it's the end of the year. A lot of stuff was taped. There is injury reports, people coming back, new signings. So stay tuned for all that and more. Dynamite kicked off with Dynamite on 34th Street. We're nearing the end of the Continental Classic, which I don't want to say I'm getting tired of talking about, but it's been long. The first match was the Blue League. Kanose Takeshita defeated Orange Cassidy, moving up to 10 points. There's another Blue League match between Masquerada Dorada defeating Roderick Strong, gaining 3 more points, moving up to 6. Roger Strong's still at 0. It's the end of the tournament, so obviously he's not going to go to the finals or the semifinals. It's really weird. I should have kept it pulled up because it was like, I shouldn't say, it's the winner of the Gold Cup faces the runner-up of the Blue Cup, and then the winner of the Blue Cup faces the runner-up of the winner of the Gold Cup, and then those two go together, and obviously it all happened. It happened at World's End, which we should have a reactions short to, but unfortunately we're not going to with Dave being sick. We did miss a lot of matches though. They announced 2 more matches over the weekend. We were going to do shorts 4, but work was crazy hectic over the weekend. Obviously we didn't know who at the time of recording, we could have did it this week. We didn't know who the 4 people were going to be in the C2 finals and semifinals. So thankfully it's not going towards the goal next year, which I think the first pay-per-view that's going to start that is the Rumble. I could be wrong. I'll have to see if TNA has one before that, but I'm pretty sure it's the Rumble. The Dynamite Diamond Ring final took place between the ROH World Champion Bandito and the AEW National Champion Ricochet. The winner and the person earning a world title shot at Maximum Carnage, which I believe is not this week, but next week. No, because this week is New Year's Bash, I believe they call it. It's Bandito. It was really cool. Bandito came out looking like Brody Lee. He had Brody Lee's big jacket on, his chain, the ski mask that he wears. That was really cool. The main event of Dynamite on 34th Street was the only Gold League match. Jungle Jack Perry defeated Pac, getting 6 points. It was really cool because at the end of this, there were still a couple more matches, but everyone in the Gold League was tied for 6 points, so you really didn't know who was going where. The Blue League was up and down. Like I said, Roderick Strong had no points. Takeshita, I believe, had 9 or 10. He was up there somewhere. I believe it's Takeshita. It's in here somewhere. Yeah, Takeshita had 10. I like that one side of it. You really didn't know because everyone was tied at 6, and the other side you could kind of see who was moving down, who was going up, who wasn't going anywhere. Christmas Collision kicked off with a match in the Gold League. Kyle Fletcher defeated Jungle Jack Perry, getting 9 points and moving into the finals. In the Blue League, Takeshita moved up to 13 points by defeating Masquerada Dorado. And then in an upset of the Blue League, Claudio Castagnoli lost to Roderick Strong, giving Strong his first points in the tournament. Yeah, it wasn't helping him get to the finals, but what that did is that stuck Claudio at 7, so that it was either going to be Claudio moving to World's End or Moxley or Orange Cassidy. Moxley and Orange Cassidy were both at 6, obviously. If they would have tied, it would have been a 3-way for 7. It would have been Mox, Cassidy, and Claudio. And they said that because Claudio beat Moxley and Cassidy, he would have advanced in, which was kind of cool. Like they didn't do it; they weren't going to do a triple threat. That was cool how they decided that. In the Gold League, Kevin Knight and Pac ended in a time limit draw, moving both of them to 7 points. And then Moxley moves to the finals at World's End, defeating Orange Cassidy. How I said before, they didn't do the tie, so it was Moxley versus Kyle Fletcher. And then it was Okada versus Takeshita. And the winner and new Continental Classic champion, Jon Moxley. That's awesome. And then I didn't watch World's End. It's hard watching AEW pay-per-views. They run kind of long. There's not an easy way to watch them. Like you can, if you have HBO Max, you can get it on there. But I have a problem with paying monthly for HBO Max and then I have to pay for World's End. Netflix doesn't, well, I should say Peacock doesn't do that. You don't have to pay per pay-per-view. I wish that, it's a cheaper price, but I wish you didn't have to pay for them. I would get HBO Max again. I had it for the longest time, and then I stopped because I wasn't really using it. I also, and I've said it on here before, I wish that it's live Saturday. Sunday, make it cheaper. Make it, maybe not Sunday, maybe Monday or Tuesday, make it cheaper. Knock $20-some off of it or something. Last match of Christmas Collision was in the Gold League. Kazuchika Okada defeated Mike Bailey, becoming the runner-up, moving into the finals, as I stated. And then it was all of those. The only really AEW news, like I said, I couldn't find a lot of stuff with AEW was live, actually. It wasn't, I don't believe it was taped. But with it being the end of the year, not a lot of stuff is going on. So really the only AEW news was announced on Saturday, I believe after World's End, that Hyan and Maya World are now officially All Elite. Congratulations to those two women. Like, I didn't know them before AEW, but the couple matches I saw in AEW, they had amazing matches. They faced the Sisters of Sin at World's End. They faced not the Babes of Wrath. They faced Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa. I can't think of the Timeless Love Bombs on, it was either Dynamite or Collision this week. So they've had a couple matches. It's kind, now that I'm thinking about it, their first match they had on AEW was because of the Tegan Knox stuff that they didn't want to, her and her, it was their real life girlfriend. I don't believe it's fiance. I don't believe they're married yet, but they didn't want to. No, it is fiance. I remember they got engaged in like Universal in front of Harry Potter, I believe. They didn't want to lose like 2 weeks in a row. So that loss actually gave these two women an opportunity. And now look, now they're All Elite. That's awesome. Congratulations. Moving over to WWE. The last time we did the podcast, my boy took over the WWE side, but he's not good. He's not good at all. I told him to Lysol the whole house and blow it up. So I'm going to do the WWE stuff. There wasn't a lot. It was SmackDown and Raw were both taped again. Moving over to SmackDown. Ilya Dragunov put his United States title on the line against Carmelo Hayes. The winner and new United States champion, Carmelo Hayes. We did talk about this last week because, yes, we did know about it. And from what was seen on Raw, my thought last week probably isn't going to... Oh, it might happen. Because it wasn't on Raw. It was on SmackDown. I'm slow. We did see on SmackDown that Trick was talking to Aldis, and then Cody came in and interrupted. So my thought of Carmelo winning the U.S. title, continuing the open challenge, which I think they should do. I really do. Trick answers the open challenge at one point in time. That'd be kind of cool. Not really any other big title matches happened. There was a Joe Hendry had a Christmas concert. Miz broke it up. They had a Christmas street fight. Lash Legend and Charlotte had a match. I don't remember any other matches, but I'm starting to fall into the propaganda that WWE is listening to us. Because I've said for weeks now that there's a certain stipulation that they haven't done in years that I missed that I really wish they would. And I kind of wish I saved the tweet. I did see a tweet of like 6 times it's only happened in WWE. But it's finally happening. Cody Rhodes will put the undisputed WWE title on the line against Drew McIntyre in a 3 stages of hell match. I think they're going to Germany or something in 2 weeks. There has not been a 3 stages of hell match in probably 10 or 15 years. Like I said, I believe there's only been like 5 matches. And the weird thing is, like, Hunter was in 2 or 3. Hunter was definitely in 2, but I think maybe 3. So I can't wait for that. And it's not even a pay-per-view. It's just a regular SmackDown. So that's going to be probably half the show. That's probably going to be the last hour of the show. Over on Raw, Stephanie Vakir retained her women's title against Nikki Bella, who was wearing Eagles colors. What a shock. And Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel didn't ask for help. She didn't want Liv coming out. She didn't want Roxanne coming out. They talked about how Dom is hurt, which I will get to at the end. It was a good match. It was an entertaining match. I don't know why, but I think because everything was recorded, this week of wrestling, I was falling asleep. I think because we knew a lot of the stuff. I don't think we knew anything on Raw. Actually, I know we didn't know anything on Raw because I didn't know about the final match. But it was hard to watch this week. I think because they're not trying to do a lot. They're trying to save for the Rumble. In the what was the amazing main event on Raw, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee defended the World Tag Team titles against the Usos. Your winners and the new World Tag Team Champions. 4 letters, 1 word, Usos. I'm so excited. A lot of people online were more excited on this because they thought that this is the end of Jay's singles run, because a lot of people hated he was the world champ. I didn't mind that he was the world champ. He definitely deserved it. Main event Jay Uso, right hand man Jay Uso, crash out Jay. Like, he definitely deserved it. It was funny because they're running in the crowd. They're going up to the crowd afterwards, and Jay's trying to get Jimmy's attention. He's yelling his real name. He's yelling John, John. But I think he wanted to get out of there because they said his pants were ripped, and you could see, like, I guess he didn't want that on TV, which I understand. Yeah, your pants are ripped. You don't want to look like Brock Lesnar walking around with ripped pants. But it was just kind of funny watching the clip online. You could hear him yelling for his brother using his real name. I know last week we recorded on Tuesday, so we missed NXT last week, but I figure we're just going to talk about NXT this week. Nothing really went down last week that of importance that we need to really talk about. So last night on NXT, Ethan Page retained the North American title against TNA's Moose. That was the opening match, and it was a really good match. I've always been a fan of Moose. I've been a fan of Moose for the longest time. I think if he ever came over to WWE, he would be one of those. He would be a top talent guy. We had a men's speed tournament match between Tavion Heights and Lexis King, and it lasted like 7 seconds. Tavion Heights picked up Lexis King, threw him down, and the match was over before it even started. What a shocker. I don't know what they're doing with Lexis King, man. I loved Brian Pillman Jr. in AEW. I loved the Lexis King persona. I don't know what they're doing with him. There wasn't really anything else. Like, the night ended with Ricky Saints and Javon Evans. Ricky Saints won. That was probably Javon's last match in NXT. He's probably going over to Raw. He'll be on Raw. Trick will be on SmackDown. Ricky Saints will still be there. Oba's still going to be there, obviously. They talked about next week, New Year's Evil. It's Leon Slater versus Oba Femi. Leon Slater's getting crushed. He told you he's just going to be used as a toothpick and just picked and thrown away. It would be cool if he won. It would be amazing if he beat Oba and have the TNA X Division title and the NXT title. That'd be something interesting to see. Again, there wasn't really a lot of WWE news with the with AEW news. I didn't even find anything really happening in like TNA. I usually have some kind of other stuff. I'd see something TNA, something New Japan. I don't have anything. There's just some rumors of returns and injuries this week in WWE. There's rumors going around that Chad Gable could be returning as soon as next week to Raw. Does he come back as Chad Gable? Obviously, he comes back as Chad Gable. Do we just forget about the whole Americano thing? There is talks on that's why the Creeds were held off of TV, because they want to do stuff with him. I think personally they should just not even bring up the Americano stuff. Let it be where it's at. Let who's doing it do it, and let's just bring Gable back. Do the is it American Alpha? Do the stuff with the Creeds and just put them in the tag division, do whatever they're going to do with him. It was confirmed by actually Live on Raw that Dominic Mysterio does have a shoulder injury. Sources say, though, he's not going to need surgery, and that hopefully he'll make his return the week of the Rumble, which is January 24th, I want to say. I know I'm pretty sure it's in the 20th. I don't think it's the 17th. I think it's the 24th. So, like, the end of January, they're hoping he'll be back and ready by. I hope so, man. Seeing Dom on TV in the Judgment Day, but with the women of the Judgment Day, like, good God. Speaking of the Judgment Day, I didn't see that. I saw the clip on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, of the commercial interview. I don't even know what they're called. Like, on Netflix, when they're live and they go to commercial, they do interviews with wrestlers. We've talked about it before, but there was one with Finn Balor, and the way Finn was talking, it sounded like it was a babyface Finn, and that he might be in a title hunt. Obviously, I don't think it's the Intercontinental title. Does he go back in the world title hunt? That would be awesome. A Punk Balor match? I don't know if that's ever happened before. That would be an amazing match. That'd be a hell of a match. Yeah, I don't think that's ever happened before. Do I have a promo? I deleted the promos. There's no promos this week. I don't even want to bring this stuff up. It's going to be too much. I don't want to get heated by myself here. So, as always, guys, thank you so much for talking wrestling with me today. Obviously, there's no podcast. If you want more wrestling, go back, watch other podcasts. Maybe I'll put the link. I said I was going to do it last time. I made a video on my channel thanking John Cena for the stuff that he did. Maybe I'll put the link down below if I remember. Maybe I'll even upload it to the channel if I remember. And it could be a podcast episode. Thank you for so much talking wrestling with us this week. I'm out like Santino in a Rumble. Later.